So while I was in college, I wasn't really making a lot of money. I had what I was making on Twitch, from subscriptions and bits and stuff like that, but it was very inconsistent, and obviously I wasn't making nearly as much as I needed to cover my finances and whatnot. My family and friends were really, really helpful, and they were helping me stay in college and, afford groceries and stuff like that, but I always felt stressed because I wasn't able to support myself. And it was something that really kind of limited my motivation to do other things. If my mind's fully consumed by, am I going to have enough to buy groceries this month? Am I wasting money? There's less space there to think about, I should be making a video that helps others or something like that. And so throughout this whole college experience, I do believe that was one of the things that really influenced my mental health at the time, and something that kept me from really kind of branching out and doing the stuff that I wanted to do. But then I had this short time to where I left college and I was working at the health food shop, and I experienced another kind of version of this. While I was at the health food shop, I was definitely making money. I was full-time, but what was happening is I wasn't making enough to cover all of my bills, or it was just enough to cover all of my bills and nothing else. And so it made it really, really stressful for me because I wanted to, again, do the stuff that I'd wanted to do back in college, make videos, kind of produce content that I was comfortable with and that I was excited about, and kind of make videos that could help other people. But because I was just barely making it and I was just barely holding my head above water, I still didn't have enough motivation or energy left at the end of the day to really feel like I could do something worthwhile. Even though right now I have much less time than I used to, I was getting way less done because every single moment was just filled with that idea of, am I going to make ends meet this month? Am I going to be able to pay for groceries? Am I going to be able to do anything that's extra than just what, I need to do with finances and bills and stuff like that. But now I work at this real estate company, and for the first time ever, I do feel kind of comfortable with my finances. I'm not, pressed for money. I know that I can pay all my bills every month, and I'm comfortable where I'm at, so much so that, I feel like I can go spend time with friends and make videos and stuff like that, and I'm not, neglecting my finances. Because I'm not stressed about that, I have the motivation to do way more than I've been doing in the past. But through this whole time, even though I've had a budget, even though I've been, paying attention to my finances and trying to save a little every month, I'm still not making all the right decisions. And because now I have a little bit more to play with as far as financially, I've been making some decisions that are kind of like developing bad habits. So I'm going to talk through some of the ways that I budget and the ways that I look at money, but then also talk through some of my bad habits. This is definitely one of those videos that's going to help me, be able to look back on this and remind myself where I'm at financially and what I need to do, but also something that I think could help you as you're, getting out of uni and college or whatever the case may be, and starting to get your first job and kind of try to build up, a savings and stuff like that. I do think that some of these ideas are going to be helpful for you, making sure that, you're enjoying your life while you're, trying to support yourself in the future. So I've talked about this before, but it's the Maslow's hierarchy of needs theory. And it's this idea that if a person's struggling just to, meet their physiological needs, so survival, food, water, air, it's going to be harder for them to be motivated to do things for other people or work on mental health issues or anything like that. Because again, everything that's important right now is related to finding food, finding water, finding shelter. And there's more, levels to it. Basically, it says that if you don't have a stable income or a safe home to live in, that it's going to be harder to, work on these higher tiers of thinking or existence. And you guys can, see a better example of this and better kind of explanation of this online. I've listed one in my previous video. But it's important to talk about this because it kind of relates to this idea of quality of life. First and foremost, what motivates me most in life is helping other people. I want to be able to make videos and talk to people and really spend time with people in a way that helps them, that allows them to think in a new way or to kind of have a different perspective than they did beforehand. I want people to be able to think for themselves and to continue to grow and maybe potentially go out and help other people. I want to be somebody that spends more time helping the world than he does hurting it. And so when I think about this concept of quality of life or enjoying life, I'm not thinking about it in a self-serving way. I want to be in a place to where I feel comfortable so that way I can help other people. And so when it comes to finances, obviously if I saved everything that I was making, every spare penny, I would be able to, be really stable in the future. But I think about the here and now, and I think about how the world is kind of in a tumultuous place. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of extremes, a lot of crazy events. And maybe the future is not going to be the same way that I think it is. And maybe saving all of this money isn't going to be as helpful as I think it will be. And so I want to make sure that I'm balanced in that sense. That I am saving for the future, but that I'm also focusing on the here and now, supporting myself and feeling comfortable, so that way I can help people and feel completely unhindered in spending money or buying them lunch or going out to eat. And that way, in the here and now, in the time that I've been given, I can help the most people. And so that's partly why I'm so thankful for this job that I have right now, because it's giving me that opportunity to help people in a way that I haven't been able to in a really, really, really long time. And now, while I have a budget and while I have been working on things, and there's a lot of positive things that I think that I'm doing to help myself, work with finances and help others through that, there are some bad habits that I've developed that aren't in any way helping others. I'll go onto Amazon quite often and find a new piece of gear or lighting equipment or something like that and immediately buy it. And it's not something that's going to help me in any way. Maybe it improves the quality of my videos a little bit, but it's not something that really, really matters. But yet I went ahead and bought it. And this is a problem because as I've done more of this and bought more just for myself, it's hindered my ability to help others and really spend money on others and feel comfortable just, doing anything for anyone, driving anywhere and paying for the gas. Again, buying them lunch or a charger or whatever they need for, their personal lives. And that's tough. That's something that shouldn't be happening according to the way that I think about life. Used to, it was because I didn't have an income, I didn't have stability in that sense, and so I felt really uncomfortable and unmotivated to do anything else except for focus on my finances. Now, I have the income that I need, but I'm spending too much, and that income is not going to helping other people, it's just going to helping myself. Part of this is because I spend a lot of time reviewing gear and working on budget options for making the best kind of content and videos, and I've spent so much time reviewing this stuff that when I have even the teensiest of opportunities to purchase that equipment, I get really, really excited. It's kind of this addiction to the experience of buying something, and as soon as it comes in, feeling that kind of excitement of having a new thing. And also I think it's because when I'm working, I want to have something that shows that this work is mine, that when I'm working, I'm doing it to benefit me and the people that I have the opportunity to influence, and not just to benefit this company. But the problem with that is, again, it can become a bad habit, as it's become for me. I'm not focusing as much on others because every time that I go onto Amazon or every time that I look at something in a gas station or buy more expensive food when I could have bought some more budget-friendly, healthier options, I'm limiting the way that I can help other people. That is something that really is kind of frustrating for me, and that is something that I've been thinking on lately. Obviously, I'm not on the other side of this problem. This is something that I'm going through right now, and so it's not something I can really offer, thoughts or kind of tips or tricks on, but maybe think about the way that you want to live your life. What's the life that you think would be the most beneficial or most stable? For some people are going to immediately think about, having a Ferrari or living in a mansion. Other people are going to just think, well, having a consistent job and, having an apartment that, isn't going to break every month and something like that. But think about what that is for you. But instead of connecting it to stuff like a Ferrari or a mansion or a house, think of what life looks like for you without kind of like material things. What do you think would be the most healthy spot for you, like emotionally or mentally? Maybe instead of using the money that you have to help yourself get to a physical state of comfort, try to use it to work on your mental health or your emotional health instead. I've kind of already said this quite a few times, but the sense of like comfort that I get isn't really in all of the stuff that I have. As long as I have a house, I feel comfortable there, and I have, a decent sort of income, and I have food that I can, go purchase and stuff like that, I'm pretty comfortable, I'm pretty set. But that doesn't fully emotionally or mentally kind of fulfill me. That's not where I want to be. I want to be somebody that helps people with everything that I have. So even if my physical needs were, not even a problem, like I had a Ferrari and a mansion and I was good, my emotional needs and mental needs may not even be met. or I may not be kind of living in the way that I want to live as far as like my purpose in the world. And just because those were met and, you know, I have the income to support those things, doesn't actually mean I'm living in a way that's going to be good for me, if that makes sense. And so part of this video is obviously me kind of acknowledging this and trying to spend time to help myself kind of put this to words and talk through it. But also, this is something that can help you as far as the way that you look at life. Definitely focus on your physical needs and make sure that those are being met. But also know that there's an emotional and mental facet to what's going on, and that even if your ideal goal in the world is just to have a mansion and to never have to worry about money again, there are going to be other needs that need to be met. Perhaps lay out what that looks like. A place to where you would feel comfortable physically, emotionally, mentally, and instead of budgeting towards a fully physically complete life, budget towards that instead. I know for sure that counseling would help me out, and I haven't been saving for that, and that's something that I should be. I know that spending a little bit more time with friends would help me out a lot, or trying to go to environments that I could meet people in would be very, very helpful. But again, I haven't been saving for that kind of stuff, and I haven't been doing that. But I am trying to take time as this new year begins, and as I try to think through the way that I've been living life, focus on those things more, and understand that those are really what's going to make me feel kind of stable in life and fully fulfilled, and that buying everything that I want off of Amazon just because I didn't have it when I was younger or in college isn't going to complete me, and it's not going to make me the person that I want to be or the person that I know that I can be. As far as potential. I don't know if I worded that really well. It's something that's a little harder for me to talk through because I'm going through it right now. I'm not really able to fully put it into the words that I want to, but I appreciate you guys watching, and I appreciate you guys kind of listening through this. If you guys have any comments or, you know, thoughts about this, I'd love to hear them. And of course, if there's something that I explained that doesn't feel right to you and that maybe you feel like is kind of incorrect, please let me know. As my videos go on, I'm going to continue to add more sources and cite what I'm talking about, make sure that there's kind of like a logical base to, you know, the statements that I make. Of course, with Maslow's theory, I've cited that a couple times, but there's a lot of studies that go along with that, a lot of evidence. There's a lot of supporting facts that I should be kind of weaving into the way that I'm discussing things, but yeah, I'll start to work with more of those as I continue to get good at filming myself and talking to a camera and stuff like that. But I appreciate you guys. You're awesome. You're amazing. You're wonderful. I look forward to continuing to spend time with you, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video.
And scrape the barrel to get by. That will simply be enough for me to find meaning in this life. We know that forever